Hello, hello, hello. I haven't been live for a long time, so make sure you say hi in the comments if you're seeing this right now, or drop a replay if you're catching the replay. And I know it's a bit of a bold title, but I've been having these conversations the last few days. We had a strategy in-person day yesterday, and it came up. I had a mastermind day at my home a couple of weeks ago. It came up then. And actually, so many people that I work with, so many students that are either inside my membership or I have one-to-one calls with, or they're in a program of mine, think that they have imposter syndrome. And so you probably watch all of the reels and you're like, yeah, that's me. I feel like an imposter. I feel like a fraud. Like, I don't have the confidence. But sometimes it might actually be because you are actually an imposter. And I hate to say that because it's a bit blunt, but let me explain. So the definition of imposter syndrome is where you can actually identify, could I even possibly have imposter syndrome? Is that what's really stopping me from starting, growing, building, scaling, whatever, my business? You can only have imposter syndrome if you have reached significant levels of success. So if you've reached significant levels of success in your business, and the evidence is there to show, like, okay, I'm a business coach and loads of people get results from doing my course or taking my program or having a one-to-one session with me. You can only have imposter syndrome if you have achieved significant accomplishments. But yet I see so many beginners saying, what's stopping me is I've got imposter syndrome. And at that point, you are actually an imposter, right? Because you're at the beginning. And it's not imposter syndrome that's actually stopping you. So you can comment and let me know if you thought you had imposter syndrome, but actually now you realize, hey, Laura, hey, Cecilia. But now you realize, oh, okay, yeah, okay, I don't have imposter syndrome. This is when, like, you've got these significant accomplishments, right? All the evidence is there. You made the money, you've got the testimonials, you've got the reviews, you've got that, authority in your space. And you feel like a fraud. You feel like, I'm going to be found out. I'm not really I don't think I'm very good at what I'm doing. But then you look at the evidence and it's like, you're clearly very good at what you're doing. Now, if you think you had or have imposter syndrome, and now you realize from that being explained, you actually don't, you can drop a light bulb in there. But I'll tell you what the issue is. The issue is that you have one of two problems. And you can tell me in the comments which one maybe I figure it out for you and help you with, and you can stop listening to all the podcasts about imposter syndrome because it's not actually you now. Two reasons why you might think you have imposter syndrome. First reason is you have a skill gap. So I see this a lot with, like, let's say someone is starting or wanting to start, or they've already started and they're trying to grow like a coaching business, right? Trying to become a business coach, but they haven't actually got the skills for that. They might have had some success in business, but maybe they need to, I don't know, do an accreditation or take a qualification, right? And actually learn how to become a coach. And that will give them the confidence then to learn how to build a business. But again, that is a different set of skills. And I'm going to talk about that. So maybe you've got a skills gap because you want to become a virtual assistant, but you've never actually had like an admin role. And so you actually don't have the skills to do that yet. Maybe you want to be a social media manager, but you've never actually got the skills to become a social media manager, at which point you've got a skills gap, right? So you might want to do something, but you don't have the skills yet to do it. The second thing that you might be struggling with is that you have a knowledge gap. It's not imposter syndrome, you have a knowledge gap. This is where you've got the skills, right? You can be a virtual assistant because you've always been in admin roles. You can become a social media manager because actually you've worked for a company where you've been managing people's social media. But the knowledge gap comes because you don't have the knowledge of how to turn that into a business. I could be an amazing freaking cleaner, but being a good cleaner doesn't mean I can build a cleaning business. And this is why it's not your fault. Like, you just don't have the skill set yet. I see so many people who go and train in different modalities, holistic treatments even, right? Maybe they've worked in a salon and they're a reflexologist and they're really struggling to build their own reflexology business, and they don't understand why, and they think it's imposter syndrome. Oh, I'm scared, or I feel like an imposter. Well, you don't have the knowledge yet on how to build a business using that skill. Tell me if this makes sense. So if you figured out I actually don't have imposter syndrome, but you're like, so what is it? What is stopping me then? It could be a skills gap. You don't yet have the skills, and therefore you need to build the skills in order to be able to even start to build a business or offer a service or sell something. Or it could be that you have a knowledge gap, which is you've got the skill, right? You can help people. You can make good on your offer, but you don't have the knowledge in how to build a business using that skill yet. Either way, you don't have imposter syndrome. You just don't. Unless you have achieved massive levels of success, you're doing it, all the evidence is there, and you still feel like a fraud, like you're going to be found out. That's imposter syndrome. I'm interested. Oh, we got some light bulbs going off. Okay, great. It's different when you say it like this. You're like, oh, okay, there's me reading the books, finding the self-help stuff around imposter syndrome. And actually, I don't even have imposter syndrome. I just need to fill the gaps. I need to either fill the skill gap, hey, Shal, or I need to fill the knowledge gap. So I'm interested to find out which one it is from you. Comment in the comments, skills or knowledge, or just drop me a DM. Emma Cooper Online, you can find me anywhere, Facebook, Instagram, DM me, or send me a message. And I can help you. I can tell you, okay, well, this is what you need to do next. And this is your next step then. And this is how you plug that gap. You've got the skills, but I don't have the knowledge of how to build or manage a business. And I believe this is stopping me. Yes. And let me tell you, with the knowledge gap, 4 core strategies that anybody needs to figure out to build a business. And they all fit together like 4 cogs. You can imagine them all turning around, right? But they've got to be placed together well. Or you can think about it as like, I need 4 spinning plates at all times in my business. Write these down. When you've figured these out, by the time you get to the end of putting these strategies into your business, you will have a super successful business to whatever level you want to build it at. The first one, you ready? Get your pens, write it in notes. The first one is content creation, which everyone goes, oh, God, because they think that creating content means they got to post 3 reels a day, or they got to show up on social media every day. This is the first live that I think I've done since October. My business has been growing, right? I don't post every day on my socials, and yet my business is growing. There's more than one way to skin a cat, my friend, and social media does not have to be the only way to do it. And most of us will say, I just can't stand it. I don't want to live on it. It's overwhelming. And when you're on there, people are telling you, you should post 3 times a day. You should create reels. You should do this. They should only be 7 seconds. And this is how you should do it. And actually, you don't really have to build a business that way. You've got to find the right way for you, but you've got loads of options. So content creation, I'm not talking about posting on social media. That's the first strategy that you need in your business, content creation. The second strategy is audience growth. Creating content is going to attract the right people in, but you've got to have an audience growth strategy then for them to keep consuming your content, so you can kind of nurture people and they learn to know, like, and trust you. And then the next strategy is daily sales. So I used to only have a live launching strategy in my business. I would open the doors, close the doors. I would make a big cash injection, and then I would go into service mode, and then I wouldn't make sales until my next big launch. And I've massively changed that around now. I make sales every single day. In fact, I sent an email a week before, last week or the week before, and made £4,588. Guess what? Didn't even have to put my face on. I wrote it at 9:30 at night and sent it. Didn't think about the outcome. It wasn't a salesy email whatsoever, because I write them in a way that's not. It makes me feel comfortable. It doesn't give me the ick. And it made me £4,588 within 2 days after sending the email. I was like, I freaking love the way I'm running my business now, right? And if you want a freedom business, you have to learn this way. So content creation, daily sales, content creation, audience growth, daily sales, and then launching. Because you want a mix of both. You want a mix of, the ping of the sales notifications coming in every day, But wouldn't it be nice to add on, you know, some big cash injections throughout the year as well that you can plan in, that don't stress you out? And that is having an effective launch strategy. So if one of those core strategies you think, I really need to know that, or maybe it's all four, you can type all four in the comments. Or if it's just one of those, then you can type specifically. And I've probably got some free resources that I can send you. I've created a lot of freebies that I can, you know, help you out in those areas. Nurturing your clients via broadcast emails is the key. Yeah, but you don't have to like stay in nurture mode either. People are like, oh my God, how long do I have to nurture before I start to sell? Like, you don't. You can do both at the same time in a really like non-icky way. I'll share with you. I'm going to be going live a little bit more, and I'm going to be sharing these 4 core strategies which are vital in building a business. But I'm interested to know, is it skills gap or is it knowledge gap? Let me know in the comments. Have a wonderful rest of your Thursday, and I'll catch you soon.